Welcome to Stress-Free SOULutions with Sarah. I'm your host, Sarah Elise, a stress management and fitness coach, advocating the world to trust their gut more often. I discuss various ways to manage stress and share personal stories of guest experts who have gone through the same stressors as all of you at home. Hey there, super moms of the universe. Let's play a game called hide and seek. No, not with your kids or that mysteriously vanishing left sock. It's time to seek out you in the everyday hide and seek of life. Introducing Mastering the Soul System, a 12-week journey to reclaim your time and energy. This course is your gateway to finding balance, energy, and joy in every aspect of your bustling life. Picture this, 12 weeks where the words mom and mayhem don't always go together. Rediscover yourself with every breath in our Soulful Mind Weeks. Sing out loud in the shower or car, off-key is absolutely fine, and dance during our Soulful Body sessions, and embrace the quiet whispers of your heart in our Soulful Spirit adventures. It's about time your spirit got a front row seat, don't you think? Join us on this journey. Embrace the harmony between being a dedicated mom and your personal aspirations. Mastering the soul system, because darling, in the noise, find your silence. And maybe, just maybe, a bit of that elusive thing called me time. You deserve to thrive, not just survive. So come on, slide into our world at www.livewellenhanceyou.com/soul system. Your journey back to you starts now. For years, I have been going on this nutrition journey, and it's a very difficult one. I've shared with you guys in the past how I have been an emotional eater. That stems from childhood, from dancing, figure skating, musical theater career, to when my dad got sick. And I emotionally ate all my feelings. I would go to flaming hot Cheetos, croissants, the butter, more buttery and salty, the better. And over time, I started to switch over to Ben and Jerry's, started to become my two favorite men in life. And I would just watch my shows and mindlessly eat out of the pint. And it's hard to admit those things, right? But you can only do better for yourself once you recognize that this is becoming a problem. Food addiction is very similar to alcohol, drugs. It's just not talked about. But to be fair to everyone, there are so many additives in our food that it's very hard to make these shifts. Because when you see that there are these additives and you enjoy that type of product, it's like, how can you move to something healthier when the healthier product is also not that good for you? Today, I wanted to talk about my postpartum journey with nutrition, and it surprisingly has been so much easier. And I think a lot of it is I owe it to this app. In this Mommy and Me class, there were these two moms that were discussing finding healthier food options for their kids. That really appealed to me because I want to provide Samara with healthier food options. When I was a kid, there wasn't as many additives in our food. It just wasn't a thing. And now it makes it super hard for the snacks that we consume to keep it away from our kids because they are so addicting. Over the last 13 months, I have dramatically made changes. And I owe it to this app that these women recommended for me. And it's called Yuka or Yuka, depends on how or where you live. I think of the pronunciation.
but it's spelled Yuka. And what I love about it is you can scan anything and it will tell you if it is poor, bad, good, or excellent. That really helped me just to see it. And you can see how many additives and what additives are in there from the ingredients that are shown. Understanding the problems and how high risk something could be for your health is a game changer. And in addition, it also gives you a recommendation of what you can have instead. So find this app first off as your starting point if you're going on your own health journey, whether that's postpartum or just nutrition in general. Mommies out there, this will also help you in your own life with the products you choose for your kids here on out. Because yes, fruits and vegetables are amazing, but we have to be honest that sometimes you just need a quick grab and go snack, especially for the toddlers. So as I was breastfeeding, I was hungry a lot and I needed to figure out ways to get all the nutrition possible into my body. But also, I had cravings and I needed to fulfill them. We all need to. Otherwise, it becomes out of hand, right? So I started in my pantry. I took a look at everything I had. I just was scanning with the Yuka app and I discovered, wow, a lot of these are fine. But there were a decent amount that were bad, or some were even at zero. And when I saw all the high additives, I almost lost my mind that I had been feeding my body this crap. That's what I would recommend you doing first is go through your pantry, scan a few things, see where you're at, and then also look at the recommendations they have. If you can't find them in your local grocery store, you can usually find something on Amazon or another big box store like Costco. Then I want you to start to do the internal work because that's what a lot of this is. It's not about how I can restrict my calorie count. It's not about even the food choices that I have in my house. It's the asking why. Why do you tend to go to these foods? When I started to ask myself these questions on the emotional eating front, I discovered that I felt empty. I felt empty inside. And it was because I was going through a lot of changes in my life. When I moved here to Florida, it was a lot of my friends that weren't close by anymore. And I had felt lost. So I had to start to connect again, not just to my friends, but to myself and ask myself, why was I scared? Why was I feeling empty? Why was I afraid to go and meet people? What was it that was keeping me so stuck? And breastfeeding in itself is a hormonal journey. You're going to notice so many changes if you decide to be a breastfeeding mama. And for those of you that aren't, recognize that you are still going through a lot of hormonal changes. It's like a fight or flight. And these changes are happening because you're adapting to your little human's schedule and their feelings. And you birth this human. And I have a lot of friends too who are adoptive parents. And it is this attachment to them and wanting to keep everyone safe. So you start to take on the stress and you start to emotionally eat. And you feel like, for those of you that eat well, you still might feel like you're eating a lot because you're shoving it all in your face. You're not taking time to eat your food like you used to because your baby takes priority over everything else. This also goes to those toddler moms. Like, this is a time where there's so much shifts happening, not just in yours, but in your kid's life. Take that in. Recognize that you are going through shit and it's okay. So as soon as you do that internal work, then you can start to do the outside work, right? You'll make those choices. And then what I always think is the best thing to do after you've scanned the items, you've asked your whys, you go out into the world and you try ordering a little differently. You share with people that you're making some adjustments, just like people do with alcohol. You can do that with food too. I'm taking a step back. I'm just focusing in on choosing items that will make me feel better because I'm having stomach issues lately. Like, you don't really have to explain, but if it makes you feel better to do so, just share. Because chances are someone else is going through that too. And hearing you do that is going to be a permission slip for them to do the same in their lives. When I started to do that, I noticed a lot of changes happening in my friend circle. And I started to meet people that were into the same things as me. So just adjusting one thing like nutrition can have an impact on everything. I hope this was a nice bite-sized episode for you where you can keep coming back to it. Because mamas, you're not alone. My emotional eaters, you're not alone. Just take some time and don't get discouraged when you fall off the path. You can always hop back on. And don't forget to share these episodes with your friends so you can discuss it and talk about your challenges. We need to be more of a community. Remember, we need to be more of a community. So let's eat. Let's start on this path. And as always, remember to speak well to yourself on this self-love journey. Thanks to Dan Lieber at Beckett Brown Music for the intro and outro music. You can keep in touch with me on Instagram at Sarah Elise Coaching. If you're looking to improve your health and wellness, check out my business, livewellenhanceyou.com. While you're there, join the Live Well Enhance You email list and receive exclusive offers for our wellness programs and events. Until next time, take care.